That's pretty impressive.
That's good.
And that is this, the EDS electronic derailleur system from WheelTOP. This model, the EDS-OX YQ, the 93mm version, built to work with cassettes up to 52 tooth. And I don't know if this is officially the OX or the OX, but I call it the OX. I'm going to admit, I've always thought that wireless shifting was a solution to a problem that didn't really exist, and then I got an e-mountain bike. And I know these are the in thing right now, even for analog bikes, and that's fine by me, but e-mountain biking's where this started to catch my eye, especially after a buddy put the high-dollar SRAM on his bike, and I've been covertly envious. Well, here we are now with this, fraction of the price. Hopefully it's as good. And this is my first look. Looks like they did the instructions well, color instructions, a mix of languages, but it's understandable. And there's a dedicated app that works with this to set it up. That's going to be important later on. Get this out of the way and get to the actual ooh, look at this. Snazzy, kind of a velvet feel to cover this. Okay, I like presentation, and this is a good look presentation-wise, and a good first peep, the initial quality, at least that first look quality. And picking this thing up, you know, my first surprise, it's not heavy. This weighs 400 grams per their website. A large jockey wheel there, larger than the Advent that this can be replacing. But an overall look at this, it's a blend. This is aluminum alloy and plastic, but first glance, definitely impressing me, at least up to this point. One thing I was curious about going into this was the tension on the cage arm. Was it going to be enough? Because this doesn't have a clutch. It has what they call a multi-level dampening system that they say is better than a clutch. We'll definitely find out about that. Next up, the shifter, also a blend of aluminum alloy and plastic, and like the derailleur, it feels robust. And immediately I noticed, ooh, it's paired right out of the box. Nice, and good firm, crisp clicks. And also, look at this. It's not a rechargeable. That looks like a button cell battery would go in there. So a replaceable battery for the shifter. The derailleur uses this cable for its 800 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. And look at that, magnetic connector. Let's get this mounted and see if it works, and for me it's replacing a microshift Advent. I won't show you the actual install because it's very straightforward. It bolts right on just like any derailleur, though once it's mounted the standard derailleur experience ends because there's no cables to run. And remember from the instructions, there's an app to set this up with. And this app, it's functional and mostly easy to use. There are some unique word choices here and there. It does look nice and modern and clean, but it didn't open up with a 1, 2, 3 setup guide. It just sort of went straight to a firmware update and how to do that. We'll talk about that more in a second. First, the app basics. There's a button for pairing to Bluetooth, which is literally the first thing that needs to be done, but it's the fourth icon. Once paired, I can easily see the charge level of the derailleur, and I can swipe to see the shifter, which doesn't show a percentage, just 2.9 volts. Top left of the app is an icon for historical announcements. Below that, a refresh button to refresh the connection. Top right is the connected equipment list, and hitting the 3 dots brings up a menu to quote to switch, and below that, untie. The to switch, I think that's switching between derailleur or shifter, at least in that menu, and the untie would basically unpair them. Back to the app home screen, we'll see the home icon down at the bottom. Beside that, a bicycle icon. That navigates to the app's included ride tracker, which also works as a speedometer, a trip timer, trip odometer. It's also a backup shifter, and check this out. It even tells how many shifts are remaining based on the battery charge level, which is super useful to me. Now, there's a search box in the upper left-hand corner, but I couldn't get that to do anything. I assume based on the website pictures, this is some sort of map that loads in the background, but every time I try to use it, I'm out on the trail where there's rarely any good cell service, so I think that explains the no background map image. Here's a peep at the shifting. This is actually shifting gears on the derailleur from directly within the app. The next icon on the bottom is the gear icon, which is set up in derailleur settings, and the app didn't go straight to settings for me, so this is important. And remember, I said some of the wording is weird. An example, debug. Debug, when I see that, I think in the computer world, debug. This is actually derailleur settings and setup. For instance, the first option under debug is replace cassette. And this is where you choose the cassette speeds for the cassette you're mating to this derailleur. Clicking on this is going to load one of the many tutorials. Pretty much everything you do in the app will load a tutorial that includes a video and then a description down below that. And there's a video, and I'm not exaggerating, for pretty much everything in the app, and I've disabled most of them, and that's for a reason. going to show you now. I'm going to click on this video, which by the way is a window playing inside a window, but this is normal speed. Everything you're seeing here is the video. There's no voiceover. It's just video. Does this, I mean, look how fast everything is going. It all happens so fast for something you've never seen before. And because it's a video window playing inside a window, you have to close it to go back and see what it was referencing. And also, some of these selections are not even selections in the current app update. And hence the reason why I disabled basically every video tutorial and worked through everything in the app on my own. And here's setup in a nutshell. Replace cassette is where you select the number of cassette gears the cassette you're using has. I'm using a 9-speed cassette, so that's what I need to select. Note that the system will work with as little as 3 speeds and as many as 14. Next, initial calibration, which confused me because I thought this was where you'd set up where it would work through every gear, but it's really just a calibration to make sure that the number of gears you have is what's there. Next is gear shifter, which along with being a digital shifter also allows micro adjustment for each gear, but it doesn't tell you the ranges for the micro adjustment for each gear. For that, you go to the next setting, fine tuning gear, which lets me go to each gear and see the micro adjustments and the range of the micro adjustments that can be made. And once I figured this out, everything started getting easy. Now, don't get me wrong, all the different menu options work, but I think they could have really trimmed all this down to possibly 2 selections, a gear selector to verify the gears, and the micro adjustment section. You know, maybe could have made this all one. Everything in fine gear tuning, or just call it gear setup. But it does work as is, and that's what counts. Next is preferences, and this is unique because this allows the devices that are paired to be shared between others. There's an option for that, or it can be locked, bound to one account. Free setting, again the word choices, what this should say is shift button options. Upshifting or downshifting can be either button. I actually changed mine. Started on the trail with it at one setting and then changed it halfway through. One of the benefits that electronic has over analog shifting. Firmware I'll skip because I've already updated this. It's easy one-button updates. After sales support laughingly has its own video tutorial that I haven't yet deactivated. Fault list. It's good that the app will track any problems, and fortunate for me that I haven't had any. The final icon at the bottom right, there's not anything I really need to show you here because this is preferences, personal app setup. Well, it's actually one thing. Setup, visibility options like app brightness and font size. And that's the app. Everything needed to use the unit is included, and it does look good visually. Could use a bit of fine tuning, maybe a better step-by-step tutorial, but it works. And let me tell you what made it easy for me, because I went into this, took about an hour. We could get it to shift through a few gears, but then it would jump a couple of gears, and it would only go up to 7, which it thought was 9. And that's because we went into this thinking it would set up like the SRAM transmission, set one gear, and then each successive gear setting is just micro adjustments. On this, it's more like a traditional derailleur. Set the low, and then set the high, and then go in and micro adjust everything. And once we did that, it's working. This has already been down, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's drop some gears.
See if you can do that press hold thing.
All right, hang on. I'll go to the bottom and go up. See what happens.
Just press and hold. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna drop it. We're gonna go down. We gotta get up the hill. Or no, actually, we're up the hill now. We're gonna go the other way. That's pretty impressive.
That's good. And just like that, it was set up perfectly. And having went through all this, I feel it wasn't bad at all. It definitely is easier to dial in than putting a new analog derailleur on, having to worry about proper cable tension, and all the adjustments that are involved with an analog derailleur. One thing I didn't even touch on during the installation was putting on the shifter because it's so easy. Just bolts right onto the bar. The one note is that the grip and the brake has to come off because it slides on. The clamp is aluminum, so it can't be opened up all the way. Took the grip off, took the brake off, slid it on, put those back on, and here it is. Now on camera it kind of looks more bulbous than it is, but you can see from different angles it just sort of disappears into everything else. And it's perfectly positioned, and those buttons are so crisp and so nice. You'll see when I get into shifting. Now one question I did have, I'm so used to a thumb and trigger on this bike. This took me, I don't know, 20 feet to get used to because it's just so simple and it shifts out so well. As you'll see when I get into the ride, because it works so flawlessly, and the first thing I did was tried to get it to mess up. I'm shifting like crazy and shifting under load, very much over excessively shifting under load, and this didn't bat an eye. Also exceptionally pleased with the fact that I didn't have to make any on-trail adjustments, a common thing when you put a new derailleur on. You get it set up perfectly on a stand, you get it out on the trail, have to make some slight tweaks, and or as cables wear in and stretch on a derailleur or on a shifter, there's extra adjustments that have to be made. There are none on this, at least in my experience so far. 3 rides in, it has been literally set it and forget it. It just works. I'm riding the same trails with this $359 WheelTOP electronic transmission as the bike in front of me that's running a SRAM electronic that costs exceedingly more. And there's another thing that needs to be factored in here. I've only had 3 trail rides with it so far, but the bike I'm on, this is a torque-based mid-drive with 95 Newton meters of torque. It is very rough on drivetrains. And I don't know if you've noticed the omission of one thing here, and that's derailleur clap sounds, because there aren't any. The only thing you can hear is my e-bike cables slapping against each other. This transmission doesn't have any chain slap, doesn't have any transmission arm moving. That multi-level dampening system actually works. And works far better than the Advent that I took off this bike that did have a clutch. And you know what a fan, if you watch this channel, you'll know what a fan of the Microshift Advent I am. This is better than an Advent. And overroots at any speed, especially fast. Not only is there no chain slap, but it's never hopped or jumped a single gear. The only gear changes, the only movement, when I initiate it through the shifter. And the shifting is different because it's so fast. It's a fast, concise electronic shift versus the analog shifter where you can kind of feel it happening. Do I think this is better than an analog derailleur and an analog shifter? Well, yes, but it's not required. Think of this as a luxury item for people that want faster, more crisp shifts, and or people that just don't like cables, and like affordable luxury. How long would someone get out of this 800 milliamp hour battery, which is rechargeable? And check this out, the magnetic charger, and a double bonus for e-mountain bike owners. I can run this cable straight to my display, plug it in with USB-C to USB-A connector, and charge the derailleur battery off the e-bike battery. It's meant to be. So how long does that battery charge last? Well, I've read anecdotally about a month. My experience so far has been that it does well. The first day I rode this, I shifted over 200 times. It counted each and every shift. I mean, just look at this. Every shift is counted. That's a running active total. Now, it did notice it dropped from the 19,000 range to the 17,000 range when I got into that 19-degree wind chill. But that's just how batteries do. The point is, I expect at least a month out of the battery life, and if I'm out on the trail and somehow run out of battery, I can use the app to shift. Gearing accommodation, I've already shown you this works with 3-speed up to 4-speed. Tooth count supported. I'm running an 11 to 42 tooth, but it supports a wider range, 10 to 52. That means just about every modern mountain bike cassette's going to be covered. Is it weatherproof? Well, it's IP67 rated per their website, and they have videos. You can go to their site and look where they throw water on it, they throw mud on it. But we know that you don't just splash things on a derailleur. Derailleurs get tortured by that slow buildup of dust. It starts out as a light coating, and layer by layer it adds up to just a bunch of mucky grime, and that's what's wearing on a derailleur. Only time will tell that. And I'm going to use this for the long term because this is on my most ridden mountain bike at this point, Project E. And just look at this. This tension, there's no slack there. There's always that little bit of slack. Like the Advent has about a 1/2 inch of slack before the clutch picks up. This has constant tension all the way through the gear range. That multi-level dampening system, I mean, it actually works. Just look at this bounce test. Now, this is poor lighting. This is in low gear. And then look what happens when I switch it into high gear. It's even better. I'll say this is as good, if not better, than some far more expensive derailleurs that aren't even electronic. This EDS-OX from WheelTOP, this EDS-OX YQ, it's a good kit. I've enjoyed it so far, and like I said, this is my most ridden e-mountain bike. This will get lots more testing, so be sure you are subscribed because I'll be following up on this. Also, full disclosure, WheelTOP did send this unit for me to review, but this is my opinion and my experience alone. If you watch this channel, you know how I do things here. If I didn't like the unit, I would say so. But that's not a problem because I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to keep enjoying it, and I'll let you know if there are any problems along the way. I'll also put a link down in the description. Comment below if you have any questions or opinions. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.